Hi guys, the Tories are more interested in distracting the public from their own disasters than actually doing the hard work of improving or fixing things. That was basically what campaigner and author George Monbiot had to say when he appeared on a panel. He called out Johnny Mercer, the Tory MP and minister, but also the Labour Party, who have been seen as going along with many of the Tories' policies. However, his ire was mainly directed at the Conservatives, who are trying to pull the wool over the public's eyes when it comes to issues like the cost of living, the NHS, crumbling public services, and instead get them to focus on a failed immigration policy. Have a listen.
Look, of all the hills to die on, this has got to be the most ridiculous. I mean, it's just absurd. The whole point of the Rwanda policy is not to try to solve anything. It's to performatively beat up some of the most vulnerable and traumatized people on earth in order to distract attention from the government's own failures. And Johnny says this is giving the working people of this country something. The only thing this is giving the working people of this country is to show them that somebody else is worse off than they are, because that somebody is being performatively beaten up by the government. That's the point of the policy. And we have this ridiculous new bill, which is the first one I've ever seen, which tries to legislate the nature of reality. It says, we will legislate that Rwanda is a safe country. Regardless of whether Rwanda is or is not a safe country, we will put it in the law that it is a safe country. You might as well have a bill which legislates that the moon is made of green cheese. We have reached the point now, after 13 years of these fiascos, of total absurdity. They're not even intending to put this into implementation. They don't intend to make this a viable policy. They're just desperately throwing up clouds of dust in order to distract from the absolute catastrophe that this government has become for the great majority of the people of this country.
So well said, so well said. And he's completely correct. The idea that this is all a distraction. The Tories can't win the next general election on the economy, on the NHS, on schools, on infrastructure, on public services, so they have to resort to immigration. And this whole Rwanda plan, they know it's not going to work. They know they're not going to be able to send people to Rwanda, or even if they do, we're talking about a few hundred people. But it's all a distraction, and it's working, unfortunately. They have been able to convince so many people that their priorities are sending people to Rwanda, putting in place measures to punish asylum seekers. You hear it from Rishi Sunak, you hear it from Suella Braverman, you hear it from a number of Tory MPs, that the people's priority is immigration, when in reality the people's priority is the cost of living crisis. People can't afford to pay their bills, they can't feed their families, they can't pay their mortgages or their rents. And the Tories want them to ignore that reality and instead focus on immigration and focus on policies about punishing people who are poorer than they are. It's disgusting and it needs to be called out. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.